Same handle here, same handle on the eoscommunity.org. Real name is Mohammed Diab. Next.
Great, nice to meet you. My name is Fernandez, one of the co-founders of EOS Nation, and I'd also like to run for this election.
Cool, my name's Brandon Lovejoy. I'm happy to stand, although I'm more interested in picking somebody that will best represent the group than me necessarily. So,
hey, go by Edgar Rhythm, first name Edgar, co-founder of EOS Costa Rica, and I intend to run to represent the group. Happy to be here.
Cool, we got a strong crew. It's very intimate with 4 people.
I know, it's sort of like a World Cup group of death kind of situation, you know, when you have like champions in the same group.
I think there's going to be a lot of tough groups in this round of 64, extremely dedicated EOS fans and volunteers.
I was kind of expecting that.
Yeah. If you guys would like to each say what you could contribute to the position of being representative.
Sure, I'll start. So my idea is to use the funds to as extra matching pools for the upcoming crowdfunding platform that EOS Nation and EOS Asia is currently developing. Should go live later this year. So I would donate the 1,000 EOS if I win to that platform, and to try to buy your love, I'm also going to add 100 EOS of my own EOS on top. So I'm matching 10% of that 1,000 and then putting all that, so 1,100 EOS into the matching pool for whenever the crowdfunding platform goes live for the first round. So that's my sales pitch.
Why you? Why specific? There was a great list of questions. Why do you want to be elected? What do you believe about the project that allows you opportunity to create value, and how will you execute successfully?
Okay, well, what qualifies? I want to be elected for the street cred that it's going to give me in the community. And I think executing my plan of just transferring 1,100 EOS to the matching fund is going to be fairly easy for me. And what was the last one? Why do I believe in the project? Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously, you know, our team is building the crowdfunding platform. So I'm obviously a believer in the capacities of my team. And I do think we'll be able to deliver this platform sometime this year. So that would be it for me.
Good stuff.
Cool. You guys want to go next, or anyone burning to talk?
I'll go next. Introduce myself if you don't know me. Again, I'm Edgar Fernandez. We represent EOS Costa Rica, and we've been involved in EOS and EOS.io since basically the genesis. One of the few representatives in Latin America. Why do I want to be elected? Mostly because I've been very disappointed in the governance of EOS since the beginning, and tried to stay out of politics as much as possible, and have been disillusioned time and time again by decisions that are taken that I believe are not in the interest of the whole as a community. So I was excited to see this opportunity, somewhat reluctant, but kind of encouraged to participate, because, you know, if you don't try and take governance in your own hands, then you don't have the right to continue to criticize and stay on the sidelines. So I would call myself somewhat of a reluctant candidate. And some say that's exactly what you want. You don't want people that say, I'm here to fix everything and to pay everybody's bills and make everybody happy. I'm here because I feel that I need to be. I have a lot, you know, personal, family. I run a business. I've been running a business for the last 6 years. I'm moving countries. I don't have the time to do it. but I definitely have the passion and commitment. And sometimes you make time for things that you care about. What do I believe about this project, and where I can bring value? I think EOS in general needs a lot of people that land planes, that execute. There's a lot of vision, a lot of ideas, and I think I've proven myself with our team to be able to land ideas and to actually produce and build things. We've been staying out of politics for a good reason, because it keeps our heads down in actually building and executing and landing planes. I think now that we need to be landing planes in governance, and this initiative with Eden is exactly what that needs to be. It can't just be an idea and a whole bunch more of Zoom calls and calls to set up other calls. We need actual people that follow up and execute. And I think I've proven myself to be one of those. What that I would think that qualifies as someone that should be running, someone that has a proven record of running teams and executing teams and doing what they say they're going to do. And we've been doing that in EOS.io and in enterprise projects, handling $1 million budgets with large clients trying to execute from POCs and ideation from vision to production. And we want to bring that sort of experience to governance, not just to development work. Where would I do to allocate the funds? I think it's a little soon to start handing out bags of rice and saying, hey, everybody, you're the 1,000 EOS, vote for me. I think what EOS Nation, or what Steph just proposed about a kind of a crowdsourced worker proposal system, I'd be willing to listen to that and see if those 1,000 EOS are best spent there. But I think there's so many projects already that are built that have been lacking funding that could make Eden better. One of them is the rating system. We built a rating system called EOS Rate that allows you to rate candidates, rate block producers. In this case, we could rate our governors, rate our legislators on chain. So I would consider different funding opportunities, but I'd probably do it on something that's not a POC, that's not an idea, that's not going to be ready in 6 months. It's already ready. It's ready to work. It's ready to grow and to scale. And yeah, that's where I'd allocate the funds. Thank you. Appreciate the consideration.
Good speech.
Good job, Mo. ZDS, you want to jump in?
Sure. I'm probably the one that has the least crypto experience amongst the four here. Each one of you has some sort of EOS related or cryptocurrency related business. I'm into real estate development and sales. I have a strong ability for reaching consensus and negotiation. Those are my main, that's what I bring to the table here, I feel. And what we're doing here with Eden is attempting to reach a point of governance where we can move things forward. As Edgar was mentioning, we've had a lot of stalling ideas that have reached a lot of speech, a lot of talk, and not developed into actual materialization of these ideas. I hope to be able to bring these things to fruition, be they what they may. I mean, everybody here has more of an idea of this than me. I will admit that. But I can, I have the ability to see to have vision towards the future and move towards it, organize and develop. From that aspect, that's what I would say I would bring to the table. From what I would use the money for, I've been a strong proponent from the beginning of leveraging the crowdfunding platform. I feel that that's the best way to reach a point of transparency where everyone can see where the money is going. Before that would be my main thing to use the Eden funds for. With 1,000 EOS, I don't think it's an amount large enough to wait until the crowdfunding platform is developed. I would try to use it more towards marketing right now. I feel EOS could use that good energy, finding teams and people willing to develop and create sources of pushing the EOS name a little bit forward. And what else? What was the third question?
Why do you want to be elected? What qualifies you, and how would you allocate the funds? I think you answered all three, but
and I would also agree with a lot of the points that you made regarding the situation of EOS as a whole, lacking governance and lacking a person that is able to coordinate everyone together and move towards the vision and materialize the ideas. I think the ability to negotiate between parties is a very strong point, even if the technology or the understanding of what the technology isn't all there. I'll admit that I don't have it, but I can see the vision, and Eden is a good vision, and EOS is a good project.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, cool. So I'm Brandon Lovejoy. My background is in film, video production, multimedia stuff, communications. So grassroots organizing, stuff like that. So you're going to find my tendency is towards encouraging those things in the community. And that's what brought me to work on Eden. And I'm also involved in the Clarion team and formerly of EOS Detroit, director of communications there. But I've been kind of like just doing freelance stuff for a while now, keeping an eye on things. Yeah, I'm a believer in servant leadership. I like inverted pyramid models where I believe that people are kind of rich in proportion to what they can manage to give away. And I don't really come at this with a particular agenda, other than my natural agenda, which is to promote communications and dissemination of ideas. And, yeah, on what Mo said, like, I would probably tend to take a bit of a marketing bent to any funds that I had access to, grassroots organizing, one of my bigger agendas throughout this whole process as it unfolds is to actually kind of take Eden outside of the EOS community and try to like make the principles that we're working on, the details right now, more universally intelligible to people outside of crypto. But I know that's for another day. Yeah, so I'm a huge proponent of what we're building here with Eden. In terms of executing, yeah, with the right team. For me, it's all about the right team. Working with good people, which I believe this process will produce. Oh, this is my assistant. She just showed up, casting a vote. Surprise fifth guest. So yeah, I don't need to say much more. I think this is a really cool group of people. I think I'd like to hear a little bit more from Steph. How do you say your name? Steph?
Yeah, Steph is good. Steph is good, Stefan, yeah.
Because you hardly said anything, and we still have a bit of time left.
How much time do we have?
I don't know exactly when we got dropped in here, but it wouldn't be before 10:50. So I think we still have. Don't we have 50 minutes?
Off anyway at a certain point.
50 or
30
15?
minutes. 30.
Is it 5-0 or 1-5?
I thought it was 5-0, but let me
5-0, and I think it's because it might have assumed there would have been more people, so 3 minutes per person, and I don't know, 10 minutes per person, given there's 30 minutes right there, plus 20 minutes for discussion. We're kind of a smaller group, so
okay, cool.
I think if we finish early and we don't have any questions and we can probably move to vote and then just put ourselves in mute and wait until we get put back in the wider group. But I'm open to continue the discussion.
Yeah, I'm open to chat some more. What did you want to know, Brendan? Or
yeah, I mean, if you could expand on your you're very like, I'll take the money and put it in this product that we're developing. So I guess maybe expand a little bit more on what that is and
sure.
what else you're.
So the crowdfunding platform we're developing is very similar to Gitcoin, where some parties are going to donate some matching funds. So there's going to be a pool of funds. Block one has committed some funds, probably not very much for round one as we're testing out the platform, right? Other groups may decide to donate to that matching fund as well. So let's just use, just 1,000 EOS from block one. I would put 1,100 EOS from here. Maybe some other people from Eden who win their election this summer, maybe some of them will be like, hey, I'm going to put some money into that matching pool as well. So let's say we accumulate 10,000 EOS in that first matching pool. Then projects who want to get some of that funding will present themselves as a candidate in this crowdfunding platform. And then people get to vote on who gets those matching funds by actually sending money to that project. So if I send 1 EOS, because I want to fund gray mass in the crowdfunding platform, for example, well, then that's 1 vote for gray mass. Someone else can send 10 EOS, and then that's not actually 10 votes for gray mass because it's quadratic voting. So lower donations have higher impact than bigger donations. Maybe not, just overall higher impact, but relatively, right? So like a 10 EOS donation is not going to be worth 10 times as many votes as a 1 EOS donation type of deal.
Could that person make just 10 donations instead of 1?
Yes, that's why a big part of our work is building that Sybil resistance. So you're going to have to be registered as a user. You're going to have to prove who you are. You're going to have to connect an email, a Facebook, a Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And then the more you connect, the more you prove, hey, these are my accounts, the bigger your weight, your voting weight will be. Now, I'm not part of the team building this. That's not actually my role at EOS Nation. So these details is from what I know from a few months ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, while we were preparing all this and working with Block One to get that grant to allow us to build this platform. So don't take everything I say here as cold hard cash, that this is how it's going to be, but this is the general idea behind the crowdfunding platform. So I know in the grant, it said that product would be released Q3 of this year. So that's the target. And then, so you can't really make 10 accounts and vote 1 time times 10 because those accounts will not have enough legit backing. So people who actually do want to donate, they need to take the time and effort to register and somewhat prove who they are. I don't think it'll be as video face centric as Eden is, as this process is. But again, I'm not aware of the final details of how exactly all that's going to work. I just know that we're working on it. And from what I can tell, it seems like we're on track, to deliver among the timelines that we had promised. So my proposal is just to put the money towards that first funding matching pool. So I don't determine who gets that money, right? I'm just adding to the pot, and then everyone who's going to vote by sending funds to the project. So you send your 1 EOS to the project you support, so they get that 1 EOS, and then after the voting period, they also get a percentage of the matching pool according to the percentage of the votes that they got. So in this example, we've got 10,000 EOS in the distribution pool. Maybe 5,000 gets sent to project A, 1,000 to project B, 20 to project C, blah, 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 right? So it's proportional to the votes that these projects receive.
Can I ask, Stefan, how long have you been in the cryptocurrency space?
About my first Bitcoin in January 2017. Been all in fucking every day since. Started out as an evangelist for Bitcoin, blockchain, decentralization, explaining to people, my friends and family. I got super hooked. I was like, wow, this technology is amazing. I think it's going to change the world. I think it's going to become super popular. what do my friends and family think who aren't as nerdy and technology oriented and love all this stuff? So then I started talking to my friends, hey, what do you think of this Bitcoin and blockchain and decentralization? And the reaction I got, if I got them on the phone for 20 minutes, was extremely positive. And then that's when I thought like, oh, this is going to become huge. So I invested as much as I could in 2017, did some amazing trades, booked a 240x win on Ripple for a small amount. And then in early 2018, you know, I had made enough money that I didn't really need to continue a job or worry about day-to-day finances. And I knew I wanted to still be involved. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do now with all this time and knowledge that I've accumulated over the last year? And then so I got together with some friends of mine. Yves Larose, the CEO of EOS Nation, is actually one of my best friends for 20 years. Denis Carrière, the CTO of EOS Nation, is also a good friend of mine. We used to be in a breakdancing crew together. We used to play Magic the Gathering together in our high school and early university days. And then me and Denis actually lost touch. We didn't talk for 10 years or so. And then in 2017, I was just posting on Facebook every day, just the best memes and persuasion I could find to get people to pay attention to Bitcoin and blockchain. And then Denis messaged me in December 2017 at the peak of the 2017 run. He's like, he lost his job. He was working at Facebook. He lost his job due to a border thing or whatever. He's like, hey, I've got time now, Steph. What's this Bitcoin thing you've been talking about? So then I get him up to speed. He looks up all the cryptos, the top 10, top 20 cryptos. He's like, yo, EOS looks really amazing. I'm going to invest everything I'm investing in crypto into EOS. So then from there, we gathered a few more friends. And then Denis suggested, hey, why don't we become a block producer on EOS, which I thought was a ridiculous idea. How's my group of friends? Nobody's ever going to be able to compete on such a stage. But we gave it a shot. So in February 2018, 7 of us co-founders got together, gave it a shot at becoming a block producer. So that was about 3 years ago or so. It's been an insanely wild ride since, ups and downs all the time. Yeah, these days I'm actually working on NFTs mostly as our .gems NFT studio, helping artists publish their art on the Wax blockchain and the EOS blockchain. So that's a bit of my background.
Edgar, could you find out a little bit about when you got into cryptocurrency and
Sure. Of course. Yeah, no, happy. And I also have some questions, so I'll leave those for later. But we got into space in 2013, 2014, being the first company to receive cryptocurrency in Costa Rica, one of the first in Latin America. We've run a data center business here since, and actually was started as a family affair in 1989 as the first BBS, and we've been in the internet space since then. We started running dedicated hosting and co-location all through the 90s, basically reselling ISP contracts, convincing people what the internet was, why it was important, connecting Costa Rica to the internet. And by the 2000s, we were already doing co-location in the government-owned data center here. So we've been infrastructure providers for the internet since the beginning. We started accepting Bitcoin in 2013, 2014 as a form of payment, not as an investment, just as a commercial use case. We had clients from all over the world that were paying us in bank wires. PayPal wasn't big here in Costa Rica yet. Western Union, MoneyGram was slow and expensive. Chargebacks using credit cards. So, we were native to the internet. We needed something that was native to the internet. So that's how actually my father discovered Bitcoin. We thought he was crazy at the time. But we started accepting it, and then we looked under the hood and said, wow, blockchain's really, really cool that powers this. We ran the first nodes, full Bitcoin nodes in Costa Rica, probably some of the first in Latin America, definitely the first in Central America. Then we started researching other proof of consensus or consensus mechanisms. So we started running Dash masternodes, proof of stake. We were a Steam witness for a while, and BitShares. That's how we knew about Dan and Dan's work. basically running validator nodes for anything that would pay us, Gridcoin, Storage, SIA, all in the early days of proof of stake. And then when the EOS came out, we knew what Dan was doing, and we knew he was a doer in the space. So we said, this is perfect. We've got the infrastructure, we've got the know-how. We've been researching blockchain protocols for 5 years at that point. So we started EOS Costa Rica as a block producer, and been dedicated infrastructure to the space ever since. Then we started our own EOS.io based development shop. We've done enterprise grade clients. Our claim to fame was Grant Thornton. We built a system for them. We've won 2 hackathons in EOS.io since then. We're working with the Inter-American Development Bank to build Blockchain, which is a EOS.io based blockchain for Latin America, focused on social impact. So that's kind of our cred in terms of our company. Me personally, I'm born and raised in Costa Rica. I went to University of Virginia for finance and accounting. Then I did 12 years in Wall Street, 7 years for Barclays, trading emerging market bonds. Then 4 years for Bank of America Merrill Lynch in New York, issuing bonds in Latin America and trading emerging market debt and foreign exchange. And then the side, had this family relationship with internet infrastructure. So as I mentioned, my dad convinced me that we were crazy and I thought he was crazy, but 5 years kind of doing this nights and weekends and not leaving my day job. In 2018, my brother left his day job as a software engineer for ICE, the Inter-American Intercontinental Exchange. It's a large exchange, owns the New York Stock Exchange. And I left my job at B of A Merrill Lynch, and we started EOS Costa Rica. So that in a nutshell is what we bring. It's sort of my background in finance, my brother and my dad's tech background, our infrastructure operations here for more than 3 decades, and a decade in internet infrastructure, and close to a decade in blockchain. We're a super passionate team. I think something that shows our commitment to this space, we've never received one reward from a community. We've never been a paid block producer. We've, in our opinion, brought a shit ton of value with some big names, some big partnerships. We let our work speak for itself. And to our detriment, we haven't been political. We haven't had a huge megaphone. We showed up to the EOS block producer race with a Corvette. We thought it was an arms race of infrastructure and experience. Turned out to be whoever had the biggest megaphone. It was marketing firms that won, not people that had any infrastructure experience or blockchain experience. So the Fiat with the huge subs ended up winning the race instead of the Corvette that was quietly ready to run in enterprise grade infrastructure. I think that's part of the detriment of where we see EOS right now, and why the market cap is not where it's supposed to be. Because we let marketing and politics drive and not the tech itself. And it's a true, it's a shame, really. And that's why we have Cardano running laps on us. And people like, like Dot and others, right? Yeah. I mean, how many Ethereum killers out there before EOS, and EOS is already working, not in testnet? How many top 5 accounting firms are running EOS.io on not in what are they running on Cardano, right? But people don't take it seriously because our governance has never been taken seriously, because we're let greed and politics really take over. Go ahead, Brandon.
So we've got like 7 minutes, and I was just reviewing the notes a little bit ago, and I don't, it's not a closed vote. We have to decide amongst ourselves who we're sending. So we have like 7 minutes to decide.
All right.
And
well,
I'm gonna
withdraw my candidacy after hearing that. I don't want to. I've always loved what EOS Costa Rica, what you guys have done from the start. I'm not responsible for the voting and the politics that goes on, and that's not my role at EOS Nation. Thank God, because I hate that shit. I'm more community manager oriented, helping people, answering questions, spreading the good word. So yeah, I'm going to remove myself from the race in favor of EOS Costa Rica.
Yeah,
Edgar.
I'm same. I'm going to step out of this between two active BP team members here, but I know EOS Nation has representation in other groups as well. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
my
I'd
inclination
just
is,
be, thank you. I'd be really clear. I'm representing Edgar, not EOS Costa Rica. Clearly that's my qualifications, right?
Mhm.
But you know, I know there's, you know, I can't, I don't know if anyone else from our team is possibly involved or not. But you know, my handle is Edgar Rhythm. It's not EOCR.
Well,
You know, appreciate that. And if you hear some angst, it's because I'm passionate and true about it, not because I'm trying to point any fingers. But
and we want
yeah, it's
more
been a hard
people
3
with
years
you.
for us, for sure.
Yeah, we want more people like you with more access and funding, for sure. No
yeah, I
doubt
mean,
about it.
yeah, I
Can I
want
just say
Pat. Go ahead, Mo.
Can I just say that, yeah, I wish that from the beginning, it would have been made clear that it was going to be a vote buying syndicate that was going to arise from this and not the governance that was promised to us. The main issue was the lack of ability for people to be able to come together and agree on how to move things forward, which is what was promised to us, that we were going to have the great governance in EOS, which is what would have attracted all of the projects to EOS and would have kept them here. I also feel like Brandon and Steph, vote for you, obviously. And I would also say that I'm definitely in accord with everything that you said, with the whole statement that you made. We need to reach a point where we can all come together and move this forward and do it in a way where we reach consensus. I'm glad that Dan came back and was able to propose a system like this. Hopefully, when you move forward and meet with other people, you also bring that to the table.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So congratulations. Sounds like you won. Edgar.
Yeah, I think the fact that we have Eden, yeah, it's like a few years late, but this has not been a trivial problem to solve. And you know, we had big ambitions for governance out of the gate, but it was just like no one knew what they were doing. So I'm glad that we're here now, and this seems to be a pretty cool process. And yeah,
I like it.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Excellent. Well, I'll take that responsibility with the seriousness that it brings. I know that this is kind of a test for that, but you know, I think everybody has something to add here, and you know, it was a lot easier to just kind of sit on the sidelines. And believe me, this is not a choice that we kind of wanted to make. It's kind of what we have to do, and hopefully everybody else, like us right here, are reinvigorated by this governance process and have some more confidence in it going forward. So appreciate the vote of confidence from everybody here.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see how this all plays out. I think it's going to attract a lot of attention from people who, even not just on this call of 2064, I've seen names that were active before that dropped out of EOS, and now I suddenly see them back on this test call. And that's like, that's a great sign. I think that's an indication of how much Eden is going to attract, re-attract people that were in the EOS community that left for whatever reason. This is exciting. This is new. They get to have their voice heard. Everyone's equal. I think it's really great. And yeah, I'm just overall excited.
We're your homies for life now, Edgar. So you gotta like.
Sweet. Well,
we're your constituents.
I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
I'm pretty sure all four of us plan to participate in the actual votes. But regarding the 1,000 EOS, you can also count on me for whatever you need. I mean, if you need a little bit of feedback on what to do, whatever, yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna say the same thing to the group of 10 or the people that we'll put into a group with in the future. I hope everybody here does the same thing and also tries to be active constituents, not just vote for someone and then forget about what they're going to do.
Imagine
Yeah,
how
contact.
stronger the community is going to be after 1,000 people go through this process. Even now, after 30 minutes, I feel like I know you guys a lot more. I'm happy to have heard your stories. I know what you guys are all about, and definitely feel a connection with you guys, right? Imagine multiply that to 1,000 people in all these separate groups, people who'd never talk to each other because the interest in a line or whatever, suddenly they're in a group together. Now they get to know each other, stronger bonds are created. Yeah, super bullish Eden and bullish EOS. That's fucking
Hope
right.
so.
Let's go.
All right. Well, from now on, we're room 12, right? We're
Yeah, room 12 and
represent.
That's what we
make
represent.
a note of
so.
make a note of
Should I make some
Edgar's
NFTs for
screen
us?
name. Yeah,
I'll set
What's
up
up?
some room 12 NFTs for us.
yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
Yeah, we can get some swag. Room 12.
Room
for
12.
life.
All right, I'll take a screenshot here. Let's get like everyone a thumbs up, room 12 thumbs up or something. There we go. Beautiful.
Yeah, just make a note of Edgar's screen Telegram handle. So I guess we all, when we get sucked out of here any moment now, we type it in the Telegram.
I just typed it in. I have to vote for myself from what I hear. So
Okay,
I
yep.
just did that, and then you guys can see my my Telegram.
I see.
group there.
I see you. Yep. I'm just gonna reply to that.
What is this?
Awesome.
Room 12, yeah.
And I think we just get warped back to the main room, right?
That's the idea. We'll see if the technology keeps up with our ambitions. Edgarism. What does that mean? 3MP EOPLE. Yves LaRose.
Eve taking it home. You're gonna have to compete with
Eve
Eve next
LaRose.
round, maybe, Edgar. Good luck.
Yeah,
He's a strong politician.
he is.
That's
Well,
what he
my
used to work in
argument would be the same: is we need more.
Yeah.
We need less politicians. I'm sorry to say it, but we need less politicians.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if I would say that. I would
Yeah.
say that the job of a politician is to come to agreement.
Well,
is to reach consensus.
exactly.
politician in the Eden sense, maybe. Yeah. The
As
Edgar,
they
I'm
say,
just
war is the failure of politics. So
yeah. Edgar, I just have a special connection to Costa Rica as well because, well, not Costa Rica, the country, but EOS Costa Rica, the block producer, because coming out of EOS Detroit, hustling and grinding for all that time not in a paid position for so long. And by the time I left, was still not in a paid position. And now they're doing pretty well, but they've been, they've had to like really.
I mean, I have a lot of
tooth and nail.
a lot of respect for teams like EOS Costa Rica because of that hustle, because of that willingness to stay working and producing from the beginning without getting into paid positions. But the same way that I have a lot of respect and esteem for teams like EOS Nation that figured out a way to make it to the top and able to push our agenda, the agenda of developing, the agenda of coming to a point where we could create things like the crowdfunding mechanism.
Yeah, and I just want to make it clear, Eve has the best intentions as a as a politician, whatever. I know that has bad connotations, but really, he's absolutely dedicated to the network and works incredibly hard and does everything he can to bring the most good to the most people.
I feel like EOS Nation got put into a position where it wasn't necessary to do what needed to be done.
It was either we die or we fight fire with fire type of deal.
And for the vision of all of the small token holders per se, not the whales, not the block producers, not the exchanges that are manipulating the situation to their advantage.
I think we're supposed to leave the room now. Actually, we have to do it manually, according to the chat. So,
okay. All right.
Good luck, Edgar, and great
Thank
meeting you guys.
Good luck, Edgar.
so
take it home. Room 12 represent.
Room 12.
Ciao.